Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nohafiza binti Harun and my matric number is 271162. Today, me and my friend will present about the restaurant industry in the post-COVID-19. COVID-19 has not only been a devastating public health crisis, it has also been the restaurant industry's greatest challenge to date. Never before have so many restaurants have forced to cease operation. Some will never reopen. Early indication from China and other countries where the pandemic seemed to be under control suggest that consumer demand won't immediately rebound when restrictions are lifted. However, restaurants that plan ahead to adapt and refine their restaurant model for the next normal will be better positioned to bring sales back to pre-crisis levels. To survive, many restaurants have to redefine everything about themselves. But first and foremost, they have to become more flexible to fit into the patchwork of law that guide and continue to guide our state and our city through the rising and falling swells of the pandemic. Depending on where a restaurant operated, pandemic restriction may have fully closed a brand's door to the public for some time, limited it to outdoor seating, or mandated that all storefronts transition to a to-go-only model or to have capacity limits indoors. The restaurant industry has faced several challenges during the pandemic, including sharp declines in revenue and tremendous labor losses, as well as some permanent closures. However, at some point, dining in restaurants will once again be a pleasure that people across the country can enjoy. The actions that restaurant operators take now will go a long way towards preserving their business through the crisis and equipping their restaurant to serve customers, not just during but also long after the recovery. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nabila binti Muhammad, matric number 270980. For my part, I will explain to you about impact COVID-19 to restaurant industry. As you know, cause of the COVID-19, most of people get the impact include the restaurant industry. The first one impact of COVID-19 to restaurant industry is dining will shift online. As cause of the COVID-19, the restaurant need to change their operation, which is from on-premise to off-premise dining. Start of COVID-19, the government will allow the restaurant to people dine in at restaurant. I say that not of because in the future people will not dine in anymore, but mostly people will rely on to dine take out and delivery only to eat food at the restaurant. Secondly, the impact is the seating at the restaurant will be reorganized. This impact will disadvantage to big restaurant because the restaurant will rely on maximize the use of space and seating. And cause as I said, that dining will not allow, and the table and the chair will not be used. So it will make the big restaurant especially lost their profit. and if people are sitting at home for long duration, people we don't feel comfortable sitting close at the restaurant because uh, social distancing will become their norm. Thirdly, the impact is big restaurant chain will thrive over small family-owned restaurant. I said that because mostly the small restaurant will not survive with this crisis if the environment back to normal because the COVID-19 make big loss to them. And also, the small restaurant will not recover faster than a big restaurant. As example, we make the comparison with McDonald's and family restaurant. If we ask the people, they will choose McDonald's than family restaurant because they don't feel like want to dine in and they just want to take out the order. And also they don't really like to enjoy the meal with family with the most people in that way because they're afraid of the virus. And lastly, technology that minimize human interaction. Because of the COVID-19, restaurants need to minimize interaction between customers from other parties. As the result, the restaurant more to rely technology and they will employ the technology. For example, robot waiter. And also to decrease the interaction with human, the restaurant also prefer to pay the meal with online to make to avoid the interaction. That's all. I will pass the next point to other presenter.
Today I will present about the challenges for the restaurant industry during the post-COVID-19. First is regaining the trust of customer. Okay, customers have been isolated for so long, so they are no longer used to stepping out in the public without protection. The new outing experience should be safe for the customer. Restaurant must follow new SOP based on WHO prevention method. This operation begins at the entry with sanitizing gate tunnel. A thermometer is used to take the client's temperature. The menu should be examined and transferred from paper to an online version that the user can open on his phone. To combat the pandemic threat, cutlery will be sterilized more thoroughly. The restaurant management must properly demonstrate the consumers all these procedures to reassure and acquire confidence. They should feel the shift in customer culture toward restaurant. Consumer and worker hygiene must be properly enforced. Hand sanitizer, mask, and clean utensils should be more widespread at a restaurant. These are now obligatory. The industry cannot function without them. Second is limited staff. A shortage of staff has affected all the restaurants. Some are only half full and yet struggling to find employees to fill positions. Getting enough workers for each shift is never easy, and bringing in extra hands means that they are always training new hires. Some new employees have restaurant experience, some have not. COVID-19 led to employment losses and business closures. So the government promised help. Any worker can access these monies. Long-term employees get paid the same as part-time employees. Some take the help rather than risk their safety by working at neighborhood eateries. Lastly is the branding impact. COVID-19 has shown that restaurants can stay the same for long, so they must change. They must constantly improve their service, menu, and experience. Restaurants must adapt to changing consumer preference, such as lower menu price, incentive, digital ordering, and payment. In the post-COVID-19, investing in new supplies, training, physical upgrades. However, those costs may be worth it in the long run, and restaurants cannot afford to remain in their operations. So restaurants must be flexible in their staffing and supply chain. Cleanliness and reliability will keep customers coming back after the pandemic has ended. Thank you.
I will explain about strategy for restaurant industry to regain competitive advantage after COVID. First, strategy that restaurant industry can use is a gradual strict restaurant safety and sanitation measure. Today, when choosing a place and what to eat, safety is paramount. Since the beginning of pandemic hit world including our country. First thing is that restaurant owners should convince customers that they understand safety concern and are taking important steps to address the current situation as an important matter. Among the action restaurant owners took were they sharp update on new implements such as using strict cleanliness procedure, increase the frequency of hand washing among staff, and updating training material for employees. This is an important aspect of maintaining the safety and health of customers and including employees. Furthermore, restaurant owners also presenting their employees sick leave policy or provide time off for sick employees is another way to show how restaurant owners minimize the possibility of putting their employees and customers at risk of illness. Using this method allow restaurant owners to take care of their business because with strict restaurant safety and sanitation measure can ensure restaurant owner run the business without any unwanted problem. Second strategy that restaurant use is online food ordering. Restriction on social activity imposed by the government will certainly result in the reduction in customer in a restaurant. Such as restaurant owner take an alternative that is necessary so that business activity can continue even in this time of pandemic, and customer can continue to enjoy food from the restaurant. The alternative taken by restaurant owner is ordering online to ensure that business activity run as usual even in time of outbreak. To start online restaurant marketing, a restaurant owner need to work with a courier service provider. By using this online ordering alternative, it can maintain business activity and increase revenue in addition to the storage of visitors due to the social restriction imposed by the government. With this alternative, also the food products sold are not only bought from customers who come to the restaurant but also from customers who are at home. In addition, the reach of online marketing is also wider than offline. It because online marketing use internet resource, which nowadays can be said that almost everyone use the internet facility, no matter old or young. Finally, this online orders can help restaurant owner to cover the reduction in total revenue caused by the lack of customer by the current situation of social restrictions. For the last strategy is influencer marketing. Influencer marketing is when a business owner use influencer people, especially on social media, to promote their product or service. Often this person will be called a paid review or gift review. Influencer marketing as a form of marketing in the restaurant industry is the most effective way today. This is where the restaurant owner will choose an influencer for their business, or like choosing a marketing partner. Therefore, restaurant owner need to ensure that this influencer share the same interests and goal as them. Additionally, restaurant owner should look for food marketing influencer who have a largest following on their channel, such as Instagram, where charming restaurant image can be displayed and seen by the public. Food influencer marketing that has a largest following of between 5,000 to 25,000 fans can be advertise the restaurant they work with, because fans will listen well and follow what the food influencer has said. That will encourage a restaurant to grow, because the collaboration will attract more customers.
Okay, next I'm going to present about the opportunity of the restaurant industry during the post-COVID-19 in 2022 and beyond. As we know, the global restaurant industry has been hit hard by the COVID-19 crisis. Restaurants and hotels were left empty for months due to the government and the public health officials have taken action to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. These organizations act quickly to minimize the impact on their business. So the layoff of employees, reduced costs, rotate in roles and more until the green light is given to reopen back the industry. The COVID-19 crisis has changed consumer behavior, and with that it's changed many things, and we can grab the opportunities from the changes. From the opportunities, it's allow restaurant industry to adjust the new norms, recover and thrive again. We also look at opportunity of the restaurant industry during the post-COVID-19 in 2022 and beyond. The first opportunities that restaurant industry must grab is to rethink the restaurant design. Instead of just returning to normal business, take the opportunity to innovate in the next normal way to shape the future as well as the future of the restaurant. Priorities should include rethinking restaurant design. Most restaurants need to be redesigned to achieve growth post-COVID-19. Consider to change the physical layout of restaurant and take advantage of the transition to off-dining. Layout changes may include the addition of drive-through lanes and pick-up lanes. The next opportunities is optimized delivery business. While the share of outside sale of COVID-19 is not as high as it was during the crisis, part of the shift to dine-in service is likely to last indefinitely. Many brands and restaurants consider that third-party distribution to be low margin after thinking ahead of the crisis, so it suddenly become a mainstay. Take the time to take a step back and develop a strategy to manage and strengthen commitment and relationship with third-party aggregators, which is delivery business. Think about the specific of your restaurant processes, markup rules and users data access, efficient packaging and streamlining processes to make collection as efficient as possible. Last but not least is reinvent the menu. Reinventing the menu is one of the most powerful tools for changing the long-term performance curve of a restaurant. Adjust the restaurant menu according to change in consumer behavior and mood post-COVID-19. Pay attention to new food trends such as clean food, all diets food, and vegetable proteins. Taking advantage of these trends will introduce menu items to offer at competitive price and sell to consumers. That's all for me. Thank you.